Alright.
You there, youngster. Won't you listen to this old man's troubles? I was born and raised right here in this town. I spent my whole life here. My daughter lives in the Empire, and she sent me a letter to ask if I was keeping up with my daily worship.
Well, hello there, Professor. Is this a friend of yours?
No, I don't know. We just met.
Is that so? I was sure you two knew each other. Is there something we can do for you, good sir?
Oh, what a lovely young lady. I was just telling this kind soul a story.
Really? What's troubling you?
Well, I was thinking of going to daily prayer, but my leg's been acting up and I can't walk properly.
How terrible. That's no good at all. May I be of assistance? I'd be happy to lend a shoulder and escort you to the chapel.
Would you? Oh, I'd be most grateful to you. Thank the goddess for sending this young lady to me today.
We'll need your help too, Professor. Here, sir, take my arm.
Oh, so much for getting
Splendid
help.
work, Professor. He really seemed to appreciate our assistance.
There is something to be said about strangers just kind of sort of accosting you to tell you a story just kind of out of the blue. At least this is just an old man trying to get to church. A monk. Game even called him a monk. But you helped me out too, Mercedes.
I don't think I did anything particularly deserving of praise. I'm just happy that I could help. You did a great job cheering him up on your own. Putting a smile on someone's face always seems to brighten up the day. Is something wrong? You're giving me a strange look.
How'd you know something was bothering him? It is a very good question, actually.
How should I put this? I suppose it's just second nature to me.
What do you mean? Some kind of older sister
It's difficult
detector?
to describe, but I can usually tell when someone is worried about something. Back there, I could tell that both you and the old man were in distress. I spent a good amount of my life living in the church. Maybe that's why I'm so good at identifying these things?
Living in the church? Alright, sure. I mean, they're both basically the
Did I
same
not mention
thing.
that before? I spent nearly 10 years of my life in the Church of Fargus. Many came to us with their troubles. In my own time of need, I once ran to the church myself, and they helped me. May I share something with you, Professor? It's about a dream of mine.
Sure, sounds good. Let's hear it.
I'd like to work in the church one day. I want to be like the priest who helped me. Never mind. It's not a very realistic dream. Please forget I said anything.
That is an extremely realistic dream, though.
Perhaps a commoner without a crest or stature. Maybe things would be different.
Oh, that
It's a bit
whole
sad,
thing.
but this is the way things have to be. After all, only the goddess can decide our fates.
Is that right? I don't know if that's right. Alright, other supports. Dedue! Let's have another awkward conversation with Dedue. Two strong silent types.
Here you are again.
I came to check on the flowers. You can't be just passing through the greenhouse.
I see. The flowers you helped to water are in bloom now. Have a look.
Aren't they lovely?
Indeed. My sister was fond of this one in particular.
Oh, here we go. Getting into some tragic backstory, probably. I didn't know you had a sister, Dedue.
It never came up. Dusker is a dead land. Its flowers were all trampled under the boots of soldiers, but seeing this blossom brings back memories. I do not know why I am telling you all of this.
Well, I'd like to hear more.
There is little to tell. But if you are from Fodlan, you must know what became of the people of Dusker. The people who betrayed their allies from Fargus. The ones who were punished for regicide. The Dusker are shunned for their crimes, even now. It would be in your interest not to spend any more time around me than necessary.
All of these are perfectly good answers. Perfectly valid. But I think the most... Well, the second two options are definitely the most in character for Byleth, I think. I'll spend my time however I like to do.
You may think little of it now, but your reputation will eventually suffer. But, to be completely candid, it pleases me to be able to speak with you like this. If you truly do not mind, I would be glad to receive more visits from you in the future.
Well, alright. That wasn't super duper awkward, but anyway, let's move on to
Hey, Professor,
Ash.
did I ever tell you what happened with that thief?
You didn't. Tell me now.
I went after him, and I did manage to catch up, but
I couldn't get him to pay for the book, like you said you would?
sort of. I actually decided not to make him pay for it. My pockets were pretty empty after that incident, if you want to know the truth. Well, what happened was, when I caught him, I asked him why he stole the book. He said he thought it would fetch a good price, and that he really needed the money. He had a sick kid and couldn't pay for medicine.
I don't really remember what the thief looked like, so I'm not going to say he didn't look old enough to have kids. But, not having been there, that does sound like it's kind of a lie. And yet...
Oh, maybe you're right. But if he really did have a sick child, that would be a matter of life and death. A little money is nothing compared to that. I'd rather believe a lie than risk someone's life if I'm wrong. And to be completely honest, there was a time when I wasn't so different from him.
You were a thief, Ash? That's a...
It was a long time ago, and I've put all that behind me now. But yes, I was. My parents died of illness, so I had to provide for my little brother and sister. I did my best to earn money for them legitimately, but I wasn't able to bring home enough. So I turned to thieving. From people on the streets, from shops, even from soldiers. I knew it was wrong, but seeing my brother and sister's smiling faces made me too happy to stop.
That's probably why Ash has the innate character ability of lockpicking. Perhaps. Anyway. I'm not going to say he was definitely wrong.
I really regret that part of my life. I was stupid. But shortly after I turned 9, I crept into a local noble's mansion, aiming to steal whatever I could get my hands on. The noble had all sorts of valuables, but what really caught my eye was a book with a fancy cover. That book was Lug and the Maiden of Wind. The knight in the illustrations was so impressive I just couldn't tear my eyes away.
So, you stole it because you liked the cover? Oops.
Well, that was part of it. But certain books are also really valuable, you know. You probably see where this is going. Moments after I grabbed the book, I was caught in the act by the noble. And that noble was none other than Lenato. But Lenato was incredibly kind. Without asking any questions, he gave me the book. And money, too. When I told him I couldn't read, he invited me into his mansion, along with my brother and sister. He taught me how to read, personally. So, with the thief I caught in town, I was trying to do the same thing, to be like Lenato. I want to make up for the bad things I've done, to leave this world better than I found it.
It's very admirable, Ash.
Even if it wasn't easy on my pockets, I'm proud to say I helped him.
Jesus. Coming down harsh,
I know what
Byleth.
you're trying to say. My contribution probably won't change much. And it's not like I have the money to help everyone who's suffering from poverty. Even so, I can't bear to stand by and do nothing. What else could I have done, Professor?
Anyway, Sylvain. Mr. the Skirt Chaser. What happened there, buddy?
Oh, Professor. I didn't realize you were there. If we keep running into each other like this, people will start to talk.
Shut up, Sylvain.
Hey, don't get mad. I was joking. Ah, forget it. What do you need?
You have another lover's quarrel?
Well, you're not wrong. I fell for that girl recently, but I just wanted to have some fun and leave it at that. So, I told her we should break it off. I guess she was feeling a little more serious than I was. She started crying, and everything got a bit complicated.
You're complicated, Sylvain.
Come on, Professor. Playing around with girls is the most fun a guy can have. Besides, I don't care what you think of me. I don't intend to change how I live my life. I'm a good-for-nothing, if you haven't noticed. But I'm still a noble with a crest. That's all anyone cares about. It's best to avoid getting too serious with fools like that. It only leads to trouble. I'm gonna be forced into an arranged marriage with some random noble woman anyway. By the way, Professor, you didn't know you had a crest, did you?
No, my father never told me.
I see. I suppose a mercenary wouldn't be concerned with such things.
Oh, what was your experience, buddy?
Most children who are born to noble families are tested upon birth to see if they bear one. Even descendants of the 10 elites, like myself, can't be legitimate heirs without a crest. That means as children, we're only accepted if we're born with one. The heads of most noble houses keep having kids until they get one with a crest. Those children then grow up to be heads of their houses, and the vicious cycle continues. Do you get it now? To all these commoner girls, I'm just a trophy. Or rather, a stud horse.
That's cynical, Sylvain. Really cynical.
Perhaps, but that doesn't change the fact that these girls don't love me. They only love the potential rewards of loving me. If I marry a girl and she gives birth to a child with a crest, that kid might become the next head of House Gautier. But nowadays, with the bloodlines getting weaker, there are a lot of kids like my brother, born with no hope. For ages now, those of us with crests have been envied and desired, but never for who we are. I understand the value of my blood. Believe me, I hate how much I understand it. I know better than to dream of being free from this burden. I'm used to it by now. I used to think I didn't have the right to live freely.
You don't think that way anymore?
That's right. You know what? I'm a bit jealous. The whole time you were growing up, you never knew you had a crest. You were free. Nobody pretended to like you. I kind of hate you for that. You were a spoiled brat who should pay for that crest. Maybe I'll collect the debt. Gotcha! Wow, you should have seen the look on your face just then. Don't mind me, Professor. After all, ladies love a dark and brooding noble.
You think maybe that Sylvain was actually kind of serious in his sentiments there? Even if he didn't actually, intend on collecting on this so-called debt? Hey, Cyril.
Aha! Found you! You're always nosing around places, aren't you, Professor? Can be real hard to find you sometimes.
Sorry about that, Cyril.
No worrying about it. I just wanted to talk to you about a thing today. Do you remember how Lady Rhea asked you to come to the office this evening? Well, she told me that I should come to let you know that today's a bad day for doing that, and you should go and see her tomorrow instead.
Okay.
That's pretty much everything I needed to say, I think. Oh, except to ask you if you've seen Sedith around anywhere.
I have not. Not today,
Okay.
even though I
I'm
have.
supposed to tell Sedith the thing Lady Rhea told me to tell you, but he's hard to find.
You want me to tell him for you, Cyril? I could.
Nah, I'll find him myself. But if you see him, then find me, please, and tell me where you saw him, okay? 'Cause then I'll know where he is. I'll be in the stables if you need me. Gotta put out the fodder before it's the next kid's shift. Don't want her thinking I left my work for her to do. Oh, but if I'm not in the stables and you need to find me, I'll be at the forest up north, 'cause there's a bunch of logs lying around up there. I figure I ought to chop them up, or else someone might trip on a log, or we might run out of firewood. And if I chop, then it'll save other people time. If it looks like I'm done there, then the quarters need to be swept. So if you see Sedith and you need to find me, then I might be there.
Can I help you with anything, Cyril?
Nope, this is my job. I'm not giving it to anyone else, because it's mine and I'm gonna do it. Besides, if you help me out, Lady Rhea might give me an earful. I don't know why, but Lady Rhea sure does seem to like you. She's always worried about what you might be doing or not doing.
That's so.
Oh yeah, not that it's any of my business. Anyways, Lady Rhea asked me to do some jobs, so I'm doing them all. Even some she didn't ask for, but I know need doing, so I'm doing them. End of story. And remember, if you see Sedith around, come find me and tell me where you saw him, yeah?
Yeah, it seems like it'll be tough to find you, Cyril.
Huh? But I just told you where I'd be. If I'm not in the stables, I'll be at the forest. If I'm not... Oh, I see. You're right, I'm all over the place, huh? I don't want to waste your time, Professor, so if you see Sedith, how about you tell him I was looking for him, and then tell him all the places I'll be? Then he can spend his time looking for me instead of you. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. A real good plan. Let's do that. See you later, Professor.
Oh, Cyril, your heart's in the right place, but we gotta work on your efficiency, buddy. And Mercedes. Okay, we haven't had that one yet. Should be interesting,
Goddess,
hopefully.
Please protect us.
Mercedes.
Oh, Dudu. Was there something you needed?
His Highness sent me to collect you.
I see. I'll be with you in just a moment. I'm almost finished here.
You were praying.
I was. Praying for everyone's safety, and praying for good desserts tonight, and that my next exam goes well.
The Fodlan goddess will accept prayers of any sort.
It's true. I've thought the same thing myself. That reminds me, Dudu. Weren't you born in Duskur?
Yes.
It's like all he talks about, Mercedes.
Do the people of Duskur pray to the goddess too?
Duskur had a very different view of religion.
Oh?
In Duskur, there were many gods. The sky had a god. The earth had a god. We made offerings to the war god for victory in battle. Held feasts for the sea god to calm the waves.
So your people prayed to different gods depending on what they needed?
Correct.
Your beliefs sound so different from ours. Tell me more.
Why? Duskur is a ruin.
Duskur may be gone, but you're still here. Would you tell me more about it the next time we meet?
If you insist.
Really? That would be great! I'm looking forward to hearing more soon.
Duskur is gone, but I'm still here.
Yeah, to do. It's important to realize. Ooh, quite a few with Felix. All right. I'm sure he's gonna hate Sylvain.
Hey, Felix, you free? You don't look very busy. Let's go find some girls to chat with.
Chat with them by yourself. You're interrupting my training.
Hey, come on. Don't talk like that. How long have we known each other?
Long enough, if you ask me. We only know each other because of our parents' friendship. I didn't have a say in it.
Is that how it went? Huh. I remember it more like you always following me around. Whenever there was something wrong, like you lost to your brother, or you fought with Dimitri, you'd come crying to me.
No.
You were so meek and pure back then. Cute even. Like a
Oh,
baby
boy.
brother.
That's enough.
What?
I said that's enough!
Hey, sorry. I just came to see if you wanted to pick up some girls. I didn't mean to get on your nerves.
Look, you've been getting on my nerves for years. I've tried to be patient with you, but I'm tired of holding my tongue. You're reckless in your personal affairs and in battle, and you're always prattling on about women.
Well, if a man sees a pretty girl, he can't just let her pass by without commenting. That's just rude.
You absolutely can,
You're
Sylvain. That is not
Do
rude.
you ever stop? Certainly not to practice your sword technique. You always skip training. And you never consider how your actions hurt others, or how you hold them back.
That's never my intention. Come on. You know me better than that. I'm not really... Look, if that's the impression I've given you, then I'm sorry.
And I guess that makes them better friends now. Well, alright, you know what? Sylvain did seem to have a bit of a grasp of the problem and did offer an apology. So that's like a baby step. So I'll allow it.
Here you go, Felix. Have some tea.
Oh.
Sorry, but we're all out of cakes. Should I bake some more?
Please, don't.
Oh, your clothes are so dirty. Let me wash them for you.
Mercedes, what's wrong with you?
There's nothing wrong with me. I'm just making tea. Is there something wrong with that?
You're not my mother. You don't have to bother with all this. I can do without it.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be rude. You just remind me so much of my little brother.
I do?
Yes, his name is Emile. We have different fathers, but we grew up in the same household. That is, until I was about 8 or 9 years old. I haven't seen him since then.
Sorry to state the obvious, but I'm not your brother. I'm not Emile. Can't you find someone else to bother?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll leave you alone. Please help yourself to more tea if you'd like. I can leave the pot. Goodbye.
I am me, Felix Hugo Fraldarius. There is no one else. Brother.
I get the feeling that maybe Felix has some baggage he's carrying around. And maybe he should stop doing that. I don't know.
Felix,
Just a
there
thought.
you are. I've been looking all over for you. Time for a tactics lecture. You'll be there, won't you?
Those things are such a waste of time.
Nonsense. You're going to be there.
Must I?
Why is this such a chore? You went last time. Though you did all you could to disrupt things, as I recall. Brazenly rambling on about clear-cutting a nearby forest to secure a marching route. And attacking an enemy base, stealing their horses. You were incredibly disruptive, and even rude.
I was offering my honest opinion.
Then, you left before we were finished. What do you suppose happened after that?
I have no idea.
Well, the conversation got quite lively. We all began breaking down the viability of your somewhat maniacal plan. And apparently, similar tactics have been used to turn the tides of historic battles.
That may be an exaggeration. Successful armies must be able to handle unexpected situations. That starts with weapon mastery and creative tactics.
If you didn't have so much battlefield experience, you wouldn't be capable of such unique strategies. Which is why we need people like you. People who think creatively to lead the army.
Now you're just massaging my ego.
When have you ever minded? We need you there. Just come on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Just what we need to encourage. Friggin' rockstar asshole genius that we tolerate. Oh, he's got to be a team player.
Hey, Matt, hitting the magic books again? Has anyone ever told you that you're pretty cute when you're studying?
Sorry, Sylvain, but I'm trying to think right now. Could you keep quiet for a bit?
How can you stay focused reading a book that thick? With such small print? Is some of that text upside down?
If I use the formula in this line here, the magical energy should... No, that's not right.
You're even cuter when you're working through a difficult problem.
Sylvain, I'm serious. Please be quiet.
Hang on. Look at the third line. You've got the formula wrong.
I said the... Oh, you're right. How did you know that?
Well, I mean, it's written right there.
Most people wouldn't be able to grasp this formula just by glancing at it. Have you read this book before?
Nope, this is the first time. Okay, now that I look at it... Wow, this book makes things way more complicated than they need to be.
And what's your take on this part here?
It's just describing another application for the same formula. Ha! This is pretty easy.
You know, you're actually kind of amazing. I've been studying magic for a while now, but even I have trouble with this stuff. You act like all you do is mess around, but are you actually working really hard in secret?
Nah, hanging out with girls is way more fun. I guess I just picked this stuff up somewhere. Life is short, Annette. If you waste it working hard, it'll be over before you know it. Get out in the world. Have some fun.
That's easy for you to say. You're strong and smart without even trying. It's not fair.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude.
No, I was just thinking you're pretty cute when you're sulking. You know that?
What is wrong with you?
Hey, I just got lucky with that stuff in the book. I'd normally never be able to outsmart you. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here and leave you to it.
Got lucky, huh? I'm not so sure about that. Well, that does it. It might be tough, but I won't accept second place. Let's go, me. I can do this. I'm gonna finish this whole book before sundown.
Starting to wonder if maybe Sylvain is doing that thing where he doesn't want to apply himself so that he doesn't have incredibly high expectations set for him, that he's worrying about not meeting.
Okay, Mercy. This time we're gonna be really good and get the supplies with no detours. You're so good at sticking to a plan. I should leave the shopping to you. I'll stay out of your way and just browse. Hey, that's not fair. I want to browse too.
Looks like you girls are having a good time.
Is this a friend of yours? I've never seen this person before. I'm sorry to be rude, but we're kind of busy.
Wait a minute. I think you're shopping with money you stole. But no need to worry your pretty little heads. I'm just gonna have to take it back for us common folk.
Step back, Mercy.
Oh boy.
Dangerous. Listen here, you. There's no way you can win against me. I don't want to fight you, but I will if I have to. So just back away.
You think you can talk to me that way? I'm gonna...
Oh, the knights are coming.
What?
Annie, run!
Wait, why did they run?
We should be safe. I hope so. But what were you thinking? That sort of behavior isn't like you at all. I thought you were in danger, Mercy. You're actually blaming me for this? It's like I don't even know you anymore.
Who's blaming? What?
Mercy! I was just trying to protect you.
Well, I don't know how ending on that note makes them closer friends, but okay. Well, that's just kind of the arc that some relationships have to go through in these games.
What's this? Well, if it isn't Cyril. How did he manage to fall asleep here? The warmth must have put him right down. He looks so cute when he's napping. I'll just keep reading. No need to disturb him. Good morning, Cyril. Did you sleep well?
What? Where?
It's Mercedes. I hope you'll commit my name to memory.
Oh, sorry. I know it, but it's hard to say.
You're from Elmira, aren't you? I hope you haven't been uncomfortable here at the academy.
Ah, it's great. I eat every day.
Were you not eating before you came?
Wow, Cyril.
Every couple days, maybe. It was rough.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Are you hungry? You should eat up, to make up for all the meals you missed in the past.
Okay. Thank you, Mar...
Just call me Mercy. That's what my friends call me.
Mercy. Mercy. Hey! Thanks, Mercy. Well, I had a good sleep, but there's work to do now. See ya.
It doesn't seem like he has very many friends here. It's troubling, but I probably shouldn't pry.
Now, I haven't seen that support play out, but I get the feeling that she's definitely, absolutely, 100% going to pry. But looks like that's it for the support conversations this time around.